All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Now Morning Show right here on TTT. All our listeners on Talk City 91.1 FM, and of course on Facebook at the Now Morning Show Facebook page. And we have an interesting conversation ahead.
Well, of course, we're continuing with our Inside My UWI series, and we feature a representative from the Department today of Computing and Information Technology. So they're going to tell us about their upcoming bootcamp. I want to welcome to the Now Morning Show Assistant Lecturer, Dr. Kafka Khan. Good morning, Dr.
Hi,
Khan.
good morning. Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right, so tell me, what's the purpose of this bootcamp?
Well, the bootcamp is to engage the youths in programs that would gear towards their future, towards their self-development and growth. And we try to incorporate the youths presently in career building activities, guided towards positional work that they could gather regarding information they could get during the stay at the camp in deciding what they want to do with their future.
Okay, so who's the target audience for this bootcamp then? Who's the target audience? Who are you targeting to come to this bootcamp?
The target audience, sorry, The target audience would be, people would see on the brochure, forms 4, 5, and 6, and prospective undergraduate students at the University of the West Indies. However, we would target also students. I would just tell people openly right now, we collecting information from people who want to register with the camp. We have people from UTT, people from Upper Level Institute, any other tertiary institute is fine. And even a parent called me yesterday morning, someone who is in a different faculty and wants their child to get an experience in computing. So this is even for people in UWI also was accepted, will be accepted in the camp.
Okay, so what's the criteria to be accepted then?
The criteria would be that age range. We're looking for the budding youths coming up into and still trying to feel their way to decide this is for me, this is not for me. That sort of decision making. Maybe
Right.
Let me try to see if this is something that I could do. And that is why we came up with that age range.
Right.
It's
So
really form 4 and above.
So no previous experience is necessary, really.
No, not for this camp. This is basically a camp that would be giving information from scratch. So basically anybody can do it. The way it's taught, we teach the concepts from ground, from bottom up. So therefore, someone who doesn't have any information about IT per se, or who is afraid to get their hands wet in the area, could join the camp and still be able to follow the work.
Okay, fantastic. So then tell me, let's get into what the camp is going to actually be about. Tell me what's going to happen during the course of the camp.
Okay, so the camp itself would have a lot of different activities. Of course, that component where you said what is prereq. So we will start from a theoretical perspective where we give people basic information to build them up about data and how it's used and all these different things. And then we would have a practical aspect where they would be using software, database software, to actually build database applications. They'll be playing with different types of software. There will be different activities in the camp where fun activities. There would be invited lecture guests where they could actually listen to people from industry and get a feel as to what database is about. So it's not just a virtual, it's a boot camp.
Right.
So it's not one-on-one all the time. They'll be able to interact with each other. They will get to interact with a lot of mentors, people who are in UWI and currently there, and us and lecturers, instructors and stuff. So they could get some feedback as to interactive sessions, guidance as to what the any questions that they have. Because at this age, you can imagine forms 4 to 6, there are a lot of questions to be answered.
Yep. All right, so tell me about how do we register to be a part of this bootcamp? How do people register?
Well, we have an online page, so you could go to sta.uwe.edu DCIT, that is the Department of Computing and Information Technology. And when you go there, you could type in for 2020 Bootcamp, right? If you want to do a search, and then you will see information regarding registration. There's a registration form. So the process is that you register. When you register, then you would get an email from me stating if you accepted or not, because we have to screen. And then when that happens, you go and you pay and you start the camp.
Okay.
You start the camp after that.
How much does it cost, and when is the camp happening?
The cost is TT 800, right? And the camp is starting on the 10th of August, and it's a 2-week period. So we have the first week where we'll be doing some activities, and it's ending on the 21st of August. So that's the following, the next week.
Okay. So you're starting the boot camp on election day. That's very interesting.
The camp times too. That is exactly what our parent. One of the first calls I got is one of the parents. The Friday evening, she called Dr. Khan. Monday is thing. But the times to the camps too, if you would see on the flyer, there's a flyer that goes around. We have Facebook ads. We have advertising by UWI. We try to get around to secondary school teachers to distribute information to their students. So we're trying an overall thing to get our target audience involved.
Right.
And I spoke to Mukurapu, Hillview College this week. I was sending them via WhatsApp. We have to get with the technology, so they will send their stuff to students also, and these sort of things. So all these different activities is what we're trying to get at.
All right. So tell me, when they finish this 2-week boot camp, do we get a certificate or some kind of thing to show that we passed through this boot camp?
Yeah, definitely. So we would be giving a certificate from the department. You would get a certificate stating that you have completed the boot camp, and that you finished the training, and you can use that certificate for display purposes later on, like for interviews and stuff like that.
Okay.
And when you get that certificate, is it a certificate of participation, or is it one that you could actually put on your resume and it would be useful to you in your future of getting a job? Is it something that could be considered along those lines?
Well, this is us being in partnership with the Oracle Academy, and I'm currently in talks. Oracle did hint to us that they would partake in giving us some additional certification. And what we're trying to do is to integrate that into our program. They can use the certificate of participation that is given at an interview per se. Yes, they can. So currently we're in works with that, and they would get a certificate definitely that can be used for future reference.
Okay.
And is there so is this the first time the boot camp is being done?
So that's a very good question. Even on this show, probably you would have seen we have currently an active boot camp on robotics. Database, not a database boot camp, but just a boot camp where people coming face to face for the fact that they come and they play with robots, the Raspberry Pi, right? And they do the interesting stuff for the Raspberry Pi. That's how we have been running that for more than 5 or 6 years now. So we normally come and advertise on More Edition. This year, the new head of department, Dr. Wayne Goodrich, right, of computing, he mandated that we team up with Oracle, which is part of initiative by Professor Copeland, the principal, also with interacting and with industry partners to bring concepts to students via software. And right now we are in the COVID area, so we needed to get something hands online. So you would see a lot of online stuff. So we decided to bring this to students to help with that situation. Many people at home, they need some constructive activities to do with their time that will be beneficial to them in the future. And because of that, we have the camp, the concept of the camp. So this is the first time this one is being run, but we'll try to run this every year also in addition to the normal boot camp.
All right. So, and you just briefly mentioned there that Oracle is involved, but could you give us a little more information on how they are involved and how they've partnered with UWI?
Well, Oracle, we teach Oracle software. We've talked to graduates for many years now. Even when I was at the university at undergrad, many years ago, Oracle is the base software that we use to train and teach databases to students to use their software. So partnering with Oracle is just a continuing partnership that we have with them. And we want to integrate some of their teaching materials into our programs. So basically what is happening is that in the bootcamp, we would introduce specific certifications, Oracle certification. I will explain this to the camp members where, so this is where you were talking about the certificate. So Oracle must have some benefit. So they all offer different training programs, right? And when you do the training program, you get an Oracle certificate. So based on their programs that they offer, we intend to take some of the content and give to students. So it's like whetting their appetite.
Right.
And if they're interested further in the concept, they can go online and do that Oracle certification. So in the bootcamp, it's an introduction, but it's part of Oracle because we're using their content so it's like not mock content, it's actual content they will be experiencing from Oracle. They will decide afterwards, you know what, I really like databases, but I like this part of database because there are whole many different types of certifications. So I like this aspect and I would want to go and get the certificate for that. That is what you understand?
Yeah.
We're trying to get motivation. So this is the certificate, the Oracle certificate, having completed the course. That will involve exams and all these different things. Right? The bootcamp is exposing them to these different concepts, so they can choose.
Right.
Dr. Khan, with regards to the new normal and going forward with regards to COVID-19 and all that, I assume that you're obviously taking precautions for having the bootcamp, but is there any sort of virtual sessions at all?
Definitely. We would be having most of the sessions that we're having would be a live interactive sessions with the students. So we have timetable time slots where students would come and they would interact and speak with lecturers, and the content would be done one-on-one in person. Yes, I know what you're thinking there. If it would also be taped and put up and stuff for them, there would be some aspects of those things happening also, but there are live sessions in the COVID, in this situation.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I mean, I want to encourage people to take advantage of this opportunity, especially those who may be on vacation from school and the Form 4 to Form 6, and anybody who's interested in being a part of the DCIT Bootcamp. So congratulations and all the best with it. Dr. Khan, thank you very much for joining us this morning and sharing this information with us.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much.